Hey everybody, talk final series of the lapel entries of how we can use the lapel to immobilize somebody, use some stealth, and then weaving processes as well. So start over in dark. So using everything that we talked about all together, best case scenario, this lapel is going to be open. If not, thumb down, grab the inside, use your legs to help open it up. If he's a little bit further down, I'm going to have to do some more creative tactics to get him to lean and pose so I can try to get the lapel out. Once the lapel is out, passing it across just like I would before, right? And I have very limited slack here. So if we turn 90 degrees, right here, I want to try my best to get the tension pulled out towards the hip, comes over the back, and now I have more play. You can see is with very limited effort, I'm already starting to torque his shoulder by just a little bit of a pull. Now if I position my body out a little bit with a little shrimp, now I'll have some good tension, put my knee inside like we talked about in the last video, and we're good. However, now his arm's still a factor because it's kind of a wedge in between me and him. Right? Not necessarily worried about that yet, more to come. So, coming back to reset, the lapel's out. Sometimes I'll even, the same side, put my foot in and put some torque on this side. He might reach up with that same side arm to try to get rid of that lapel, and in the process, he traps his own arm. So now, turn 90 degrees again. His arm is slightly trapped right around the forearm, closer to the wrist. It's not going to be that hard for him to pull out his arm, so just retract your arm. So I have to manage to keep that in there. So while I'm up in this stage, he reaches up to weave through. I'm coming and trapping the elbow closer to the bicep, and I'm going to switch my grips to my opposite hand, cinch it in. Now him trying to pull that out, it's going to be much harder, especially if I keep his posture broken. Right? Now he's more trapped than before. This opens up opportunities as well for arm bars, because his arms are together. For sweep to this side, come up in the mouth. In addition to that, from the side control, we're here, we have the lapel out, we're in our normal style side control, comes down to the hip, right? I might be threatening to do some kind of choke, and the idea is to weave inside of the arm. Now he has a limited range of motion with his arm. He tries to move, he can't move it as much as he normally would the frame, and then turn back in, switching grips can create different opportunities, right? Wrist locks, setting up normal style things and releasing the grip. You can keep the grip as well and do all this style weaving that we're about to talk about. So it sets up a lot of cool opportunities. Come back up the guard. So at another angle, we can use our own gi or their gi as a method of stealth, right? So sometimes we go to set up a normal style cross collar choke, right? Breaking the posture down, cross collar grip, coming across, and we're here. It's pretty easy for the person to see it coming, right? So to be a little bit more stealthy behind it, we're going to do the same process we did before, taking out the lapel, right? Lapel comes up, I'm using the lapel, and then in addition to that, I'm looping my thumb inside behind the collar. Right, let's get a little bit closer. So without him even being there, what's happening is this lapel is coming, I'm sneaking my thumb inside behind the collar. Now I have two grips in one. So if he pulls back on this lapel, or even comes across and pulls his lapel back, right, he's thinking I'm going for the lapel grip. Right, he pulls the lapel out, I still have a grip behind. Now I come back in, I can baseball bat choke, I can loop it around, and have a cross collar choke. So it's setting up things more sneakily. So you can see what's going on. I'm here, posture comes down, lapel comes out, cinching behind the neck right here. He pulls the lapel out. I still have a grip. I'm sneaking through. He thinks I'm just getting a cross collar choke, but I loop around and now have a modified cross collar. Same thing from on top and side control. This time I'm going to use my own gi. Right. I'm here, I'm controlling, I take my gi out, then I pass it across. In addition to having his gi underneath, I'm passing it. He thinks that I'm going with my gi, defends it, come through. My gi is controlled, but I grabbed his gi through. Right to my baseball bat style chip. Right? So you can use a lot of deception based on grabbing one thing, making them feel like you're using their gi or your own gi, but you're actually setting up two grips at once. Last bit is a weaving process. We'll only do one of them. It's from the guard, and it's really contingent on how much slack they have. It's basically so a lot of these settings, right, we're breaking the posture down, we're taking the lapel out, getting as much slack as possible, and usually passing to the far side. Right, and that's all great. This time around, we're gonna loop to the front. And this is going to be really difficult if they don't have a lot of slack in their gi. Right? Now, as he starts to posture up, it's in front rather than behind. I can't keep his posture down. So I need a fail-safe while I'm doing this as well. So I'm here. I pass it initially. I'm going to swap to a collar tie behind the head as I pull this around. Now I swap to the lapel. Very limited space with this one, but once I'm here, I can start shrimping off to the other side and putting my shin as a knee shield in front. Now as I drive up, I can pull down my elbow like a row, and I call this the hangman's noose, because you're noosing the person and kind of lifting them up like they're being hung. Right, one more time, a little further back so you can see a little bit more. We're here, arms are cleared, bringing the posture down, using our legs to open up to get the lapel out, passing it, right, pulling it down to get the slack up, passing it across, keeping the posture down by opening up my arm, collar tying, comes around, passing it around. I'm here, this one's going to be a lot tighter. I can grab the sleeve here to assist me, or I can just keep this grip, put something out. He comes inside. And finish the show. Right, so that's the last part of the series. Just get creative. Use the concepts behind of how we're bringing down posture, maintaining it, immobilizing the person, using stealth to set up new style grips, and then weaving to make it really miserable for the person, whether for attacking or just for control. Best of luck. Enjoy.